welcome to Energy in Motion, my brand new show. This show is dedicated to helping you, the viewer, with a number of topics such as business, creativity, mindset, and all of the content that will be posted in these series of interviews will be to show you, the viewer, how you can put your energy into motion. I am Cal Priest. I am an accomplished digital marketer and creative. I've been doing this for a number of years, and the reason why I wanted to start this brand was so I could put the power in your hands, and so you can see firsthand industry professionals like myself and my good friend Victor here of how you can improve your life and take the action required to become the greatest version of yourself. So I'm going to hand over to my friend Victor if you would like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Victor, popularly known as VC. I'm a music producer and talent manager, or like in the music space, more about creativity. So I'm also a composer and an arranger. I used to like play the piano since I was like 14. So like I've been really like, been much in the music space, and I'm all about creativity. Anything about creativity, that's all I'm into. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So we'll get straight into it. So my friend Victor here, he works in the Afrobeat genre, and he has helped a number of artists to develop his talent and helping them with their sounds and songwriting and management. And I guess my first question for you would be really, how do you find working within this environment?
That's a very good question. I really enjoy working in this environment because, one thing I believe about creativity is being in an environment that supports your creativity, helps you and aids your creativity. So I really think being in this environment has really fostered my creativity and taking it to the next level. And it's really been amazing, working here. I didn't talk about my journey. I came into the UK 2021. Ever since it has been really great. Working with numbers of people, people from Birmingham, London, Manchester, different places. It's been really amazing, and I really love working. Yeah.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So, where would you say you've spent the most amount of time working in the UK?
Basically Birmingham, because I did uni in Birmingham, so Birmingham more but I've literally been around different places that more going around London, Manchester, but most of the time I'm really around Birmingham. And I've really met a lot of people who they connect. I connect with them. I connect with them, and for what we do in music and creativity, we have to connect with that person. Yeah. For there has to be like a connectivity for you people to work very well. So I've really, in the time past, I've really connected with quite a number of people from Birmingham and also from other places. But literally most of the works that I've done have been from Birmingham, and it's been great.
Good. How would you say you develop a connection with these different artists?
That's a tricky one, but if it depends on our interest. The people that people are interested in different things, and even in music is wide. We have just like we have different genres of music. We have different people who listen to different kind of music. So when I meet someone, I ask them questions. It's just like when we met for the first time, we talked about different genres of music and what really interests you. So I think I say their interest. When I get to find out that we have similar interest, that's at the point where we the connectivity comes in, where we have similar interest, and we find out that we probably been listening to some kind of same thing, and have the same mindset about creativity and music in general. So I say firstly interest. That's you have to be interested in what I'm interested in, and even if we're not totally interested, but we have to have find a common ground where we meet. That brings about connectivity.
Yeah, you made some good points there, and I think obviously when you're doing music, your lyrics, your sound, the type of production you go over, it all really comes from a place of just your beliefs as a person, your way of expressing yourself, and just how you feel about the world. So I guess when you get to know a person more, how they think and how they act, you can help them to formulate that sound that sonically expresses those feelings and emotions and worldviews.
True. Yeah, like when I'm about to I'm putting you through on some part of my creative process. Like maybe I want to work on a song with someone, and you know, if the person have like a reference, you know, we could go back to like, you know, listen to the reference, but like if there's no reference, then I'm like working from my own idea, or like, you know, the idea that like I've envisioned in my mind. So like it's just like we could work it out either ways. So I agree with you, man.
That's the thing, man, is like when you're working in music and these different things, like life is not a solo project. Like collaboration is one of the main things in music. So whenever you're listening to different artists and you're seeing these different songwriters, even if you're not aware of it, a lot of collaboration has happened. And I guess what Victor's sort of job of doing is, by helping people curate these sounds, he's working in close collaboration with these people, mentally and spiritually and within the different ideas, to create a product that resonates. And it won't sound like anything else as well, because you can't manufacture a connection between two artists when they're working together, when they're performing together, or when they're writing together. So I think this is a key thing, I guess, to remember when you're trying to create music for yourself, or whether you're helping someone else with it. Is there any upcoming projects that you're currently working on in terms of music?
Okay, so I've recently just released my EP. I've released the Energy EP, EP of 6 tracks, and still really doing well. But currently, that was released last year, December, and I'm currently working and putting out another project this year, and I'm really excited about it, because like this is me doing something that, like, you know, I haven't really, like, you know, done before. It's totally different from what I've been doing, and like I'm really excited because like this involves a collaboration of different people, majorly from the UK. So my project last year was all about, you know, majorly Afrobeat sounds, and I worked with different people, both from Nigeria and both from the UK. But now this time around, I'm trying to work with the people who are here, because like I'm here, I just want to make use of the people around here and, you know, collaborate, because like one thing I've realized is like collaboration. It's a magical thing. Like that's something that really beds a lot of good creativity. So like I'm currently working on that project. How many tracks? I don't really know how many tracks it's gonna be, but like it's gonna be really amazing. So currently working on a new project that's gonna be out this year.
Nice, man. I'm looking forward to hearing it. So on this project, are you going to play the role more of a composer or a producer or songwriting or performer?
You know, the tricky thing is like for me, it's more like doing multi roles. Being in a multi roles. Like I could be the producer, definitely. I'm going to make the beat. But then I think for me it's a lot more than just making the beats, because like, you know, when I'm working on a project like this, everything has to, you know, go together. It has to align. You know, it has to go with a team that I'm working with. So I'm gonna be the producer. I'm gonna be the arranger, the composer, and also probably the executive producer.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of different roles. Is there a specific? So when you're listening to different albums, a lot of them, they might have like a sort of like theme or concept to them in terms of a certain message you're trying to get across within the music itself. Was there any certain message that you were trying to get across in this new project?
You know, one thing I'm going to say is like sometimes we have an idea, a concept, but along the line it changes, and like, you know. So, but for right now, I'm inspired to create something in terms of like love. love, because I'm a lover boy, you know. You know what I mean? So I'm inspired to create something about love, you know. Love is something that, like, you can't just stop talking about love, because, like, love is big, you know. It's a really big. So I'm inspired to talk about it, to create something about love. And who knows, along the line I could literally, I don't know, but for now, about love.
Nice, man. I suppose that's the thing with, like, Afrobeats as well, is the sounds itself, a lot of the production, it instantly incites that emotion of, it's able to incite a clear emotion in you instantly. Even like the lyrics in Afrobeats music, there's not a lot of, I guess it's not super detailed in terms of the structure of the lyrics itself, but it's just the words mean a lot more, especially when combined with the production and how it can easily capture the person listening's attention to, you know, want to move forward more. Do you see Afrobeats moving forward as a genre? Where do you see it expanding over the next few years?
That's a good question. I see, like, you know, back then, you know, it wasn't like this. You know, I'm really happy, like, to be experiencing this global recognition of Afrobeat. You know, back then it didn't get this recognition that it's getting right now. I'm really happy. I know the future is great. It's gonna get bigger. I know in time to come I know it's everywhere in the UK. Afrobeat is big. But I know in time to come it's gonna be really, really very big, and it's gonna be like a strong household name. And I'm excited to be part of it. You know, I'm excited to contribute to Afrobeat, you know.
No, it's good. It's definitely good. Like, in music, the more creatives we have that are willing to bring people together and create a network where, you know, if people have ideas, don't be scared don't fear collaboration, don't fear presenting the ideas, because there's always going to be someone out there who sees the value in what you're doing as a creative. And I just feel like at the moment there's this new wave of energy within music and creativity, and creatives are fighting back, and, you know, we're not scared to put forward our ideas and our art, even if you can't see the money straight away, because there's not a lot of money in actually creating music at the moment. It's more so the different things that centre around music. So obviously touring, merchandise, a lot of artists such as James Blake and others, they're trialing their own, like, monthly subscriptions where they're releasing not just music but unreleased music and, you know, special tour access. And I feel like this is just the way forward for music in general. So, you know, to have Victor here today speaking passionately about the genre that he works in and what he's working on, I feel like it's a big thing for you as the viewer, where, you know, you get to see an insight into how someone really thinks and how someone really feels about something that they put a lot of hard work and a lot of effort into. So I guess I sort of wanted to steer the conversation more in terms of a creative aspect, because, you know, creativity is the number one driving force in the world currently. You know, creativity and design, these two things sort of work hand in hand in how buildings are designed, music's made, clothing's created, you know, even our thoughts, really. I guess the way that our thoughts are structured and the way that we sort of flow in terms of letting our ideas out, that is all actually predicated around design and creativity. The way that you view the world in terms of creativity, it determines the rate at which you're able to get your ideas out, how quickly you can get them out, how effectively you can express an idea, how fearlessly you're able to move forward within thought and within action. And so I really wanted to, I guess, for you as a talent manager and a record producer, what would you say fuels your creativity as a person? What different things, what inspires you to create as a person?
Literally everything around me, like, you know, I could just be walking on the street and I've got this idea and it comes in and I want to create. I just want to go into the studio and just do something and, like, you know. So it's my environment inspires me, honestly, to be honest with you. You know, seeing people people doing their thing. I just get inspired, and I want to like create. So it's music for me. Like it's a passion. So every single little thing inspires me. Like when I did my EP, there were times where I was sad, where I was heartbroken, and so that inspired the sound. That inspired the sound. There were times where I was happy, because I found love at the point in my life, that inspired the sound. So like I think every little thing that happens inspires me to create music. So I'll say my environment, inspires me, and seeing people smiling inspires me. It's just me going about my hustle, doing my thing inspires me. To push harder, to get the bag. It inspires me. So every little thing about my environment inspires me.
Yeah, Victor makes a good point about your environment. So when you're creative, switching your environment and putting yourself into new environments is very important, because to create separation in thought and in action and environment, you allow for a new opportunity to create a new thought or experience a new emotion or a new idea. And I really feel what Victor's saying when he speaks about how just a current emotion he's feeling fuels this certain sound or this certain lyric is like. So as an artist, as a creative, I really feel like you should just use whatever you're feeling. Whatever you're feeling is unique to you and not anybody else. So whatever emotion you're feeling, it displays through in the sonics of the music and the production and the lyrics, and that's what people want. People want to hear authenticity, and people want to hear you as a person. And when you put yourself in these different environments, say just going for a walk, or having a phone call with someone who you have a really deep connection with, that unlocks so much. And all of these little things, this all adds to the process. And if you have the correct perception when you're doing these different things, that unlocks it. See, if I was just to go for a walk now and I see it as, I'm just going for a walk, I might not feel anything from that to create something. But by me going for a walk with the perception, like I'm doing this with the intent to, give myself the best possible opportunity to create, you'll hear it in the music, you'll hear it in the creation. And in the different music that Victor creates, he's able to just incite so much emotion in different people. And even myself, so I market product, I market design, I market all these different things, and you have to be able to step out of your own state of being as a person. And if you're able to not just see things through your own perception, but to really see things through, I guess, other people's perceptions, it gives you a whole new scope of creation, really. And it ties back into the collaboration of what we were speaking about earlier. Is like, you have to really understand that all of these things are just connected together into one. And throughout this episode, I wanted to just further see, how you can broaden your own scope and how you can take these different things, because fear really runs the world. I guess you'd agree. Was like, does fear play a factor in, I guess, certain decisions you've made in the past or decisions that you make in the future?
I'll say, one thing I really want people to know, because like when we talk about creativity, there's this like imposter syndrome. You always feel like what you've done is really not really good enough. People fear about what will people say if I put this out there. But I'll tell you the truth, like just put it there, man, because like the truth is there are no rules to being a creative. I've said this like thousands of times, like whenever I get to speak in places, I tell people like there are no rules. You just have to put it out there. There are no rules. You just have to trust your own ideas and be ready to be open. I think you mentioned about being open, and like the idea of being open to experiences, and like so people need to understand that you just have to be real and authentic and let it flow, and that's it. That's basically it.
And to really unlock this authenticity and this realness that will reflect in your music, it just requires you to go on a journey of your own internal growth. and to experience new things. And don't be scared as well. Change your identity at any time. You know, your identity, it plays such a big role in the creation process, and I just feel, you know, we have the power as creatives. The second we give the audience the power over us is when we lose the ability to create in a way that's authentic to us as people. And, you know, we just have to be the ones that are fearless enough to break they're almost like it's like a glass wall in front of you. And, you know, you as a person, like, you look through this glass wall and you're seeing all these different people of what people online are saying and what people in comments are saying, but really the external perception, it's funny because external perception, it plays such a big role when you're creating, because you feed off the energy that you can see and that you can feel, but you also don't want it to tamper with your own creative process. And I guess the funny thing is as well with like your internal being and your external being, with how you look and how you think, like everybody feels the same emotions. When you create something and you think in your mind, yo, like, what about if the way I look doesn't match the way that I think? That actually has no bearing or no impact. If you speak from the heart enough and you deliver your beliefs in a way that's authentic and true to you, people will connect. Even if people aren't saying it, that person will keep watching. That person will take in what you're saying. And, you know, when you create, you've got to see as you're not creating, I guess, for, you know, a specific person. You're creating for yourself. And Rick Rubin speaks on this. Is like, when you create for yourself, you're creating for other people, and you just don't want to let any type of perception stop you, because you think, like, you know, when someone's watching you or when someone's listening to you, like, it just doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, like, what they think, because they're not you, and you're not. They don't have what you have internally. Only you have what you have internally. And just having the fearlessness to actually say how you feel and say what you think out loud publicly, you know, that's something that not a lot of people are willing to do. And you see these people like Kanye West and these other artists, they're savages, and you might not feel it maybe if they are creating music that, I guess, speaks about how they feel more or what they think more, but just the fact they're willing to present it to you in almost a sonic capsule that you can pick up at any time and use it as the rocket ship to fuel your own thoughts and your own emotions. Man, they're just creating the wave, and they're just allowing a whole new pathway for people like myself and people like Victor, who are just passionate about creating sounds and creating vibes and creating thoughts and sharing ideas that people can really just connect to in a way, I guess. And yeah, something I want to ask Victor is, I guess, what sort of obstacles have you faced in terms of, you know, building yourself up as an artist? Like, has there ever been moments of where you felt maybe some external energy creeping in, and then you think, nah, this isn't about to control what I'm about to do now or moving forward? Have you ever had those, I guess, experiences?
Quite some experiences where, like, I've really, like, you know, thought about, you know, what I was doing, and like it made me want to question what I was doing, if I was really in the right path, you know. You know, back home, where I'm from, you know, it's you know, our parents don't really like, they support you, but like they just like, they want everybody to, like, you know, go through the part of, like, you know, you got to go to school, you got to do this, you got to be a doctor, you got to be, you know, you know, when you've been that part of, like, you wanna be a creative, they be like, what's he doing, you know. At that time when I really started, you know, when I started playing the piano, it was like, you know, I didn't really get the support at first, you know, but, you know, at that time I just kept doing what I was doing, you know, because I believed in what I really wanted to do. So you know, when they started saying that, oh, you know, I wasn't really stopping anytime soon, so they had to, like, embrace it, you know. So I think that was one moment too as well. Then I say, you know, there comes a time where, like, you know, you know, as a creative, we invest our time, we invest our resources into putting something out there, and you know, when you get that negative feedback from people, you know, sometimes it just take you down. You know, there comes a time where I spent my time to put out something, and someone told me like, bro, that's rubbish. You know, at that time I was like, bro, I was really down, but that wanted to stop me, but I told myself, like, you know, I'm not gonna let this stop me. You know, I took the challenge, you know, and then I asked myself, it just came about like reflection, a positive reflection, like what can I do to make this, you know, better, you know. There comes a time where like I was even making beat and it was trash, you know, but now they sound really good. If I post a bit on my Instagram, you see people like, bro, I want this, how can I get this, you know, my beat starts blowing up, you know. It's just like, you know, at that time where I had those comments, you know, it really made me down, you know, but looking past it, was really like the victory.
And I think that speaks to the fact as well, is like, even though obviously the people around you love you, they only do what they think's best for you, and a lot of the times people can only see what's visually in front of them. So if you're speaking to a person and you're showing them something, or you're telling them something, and they can't physically see it with their eyes in the present moment, you know, people are just going to tell you raw, direct, exactly how they feel, and it's going to be uncomfortable, and it can mess with your energy. But as he said, like, you just have to learn through experience, you know. Like when I started marketing products, and when I started creating content to engage with people, you know, you start posting and you're seeing, wait, like, I'm getting little to no engagement on this, you know, you're getting criticism, and it's a tough blow, man. You know, only you have the power to create. No one else can step into your body and force you to create something. Everything has to happen naturally. So I feel that's such the cool thing with art and with music and with marketing, and it's really just a reflection of your own mental space. Like, every day you have to be willing to treat the day as a blank canvas and start again. And that's, I feel, something like people don't really appreciate about creatives. Like, they want you to go into a certain path or a certain career, and it's like they try and force you into a space where you have to be comfortable. And in terms of like, you have to make this much a year, or, you know, you have to do what I say because I created you. And it's like, the thing is with creation is just like, creation just is, and creation happens naturally. And, you know, as creatives, you can't force yourself to do something you don't want to do. You know when the energy doesn't feel right and when the vibe doesn't feel right. If you're thrown into a university and you're around all these different energy types who have no real alignment to who you want to become or what you want to create, that's stifling. And, you know, it can make you suppress, and it can really impact the creation process. So you have to have an unshakable faith within yourself when you're creating. Like, you know, there's been times where I've been creating and I've took risks. I've resigned from places and I've said no. Like, I have to determine what my self-worth is. And, you know, you walk home and, you know, you feel the different thoughts and feelings hitting you, like, what's this person gonna think, what's that person gonna think? But you're the only person who decides your perception of reality. And, you know, like, whatever hits you take, like, however many times you fall down on your face, it's not what's happening around you that defines you, it's what's happening inside you. If you have true self-mastery over your own thoughts and your own emotions, no one can stop you. You could meet a new person who's completely different to you, and you'll just connect, and then a new possibility, a new outcome could be made. And, you know, I've learned myself that this is how the world works. Like, you know, I've built my network over the past couple of months. I've met so many different types of people, and it's a really humbling experience to where I see these artists creating albums and they're creating songs, like, you know, the uncontrollable feelings that you either have to put into the music or you have to be controlled by it. And it's just who you are as a man and who you are as a woman is like that. You know, these different constructs, you have to be the person who controls the constructs. You have to walk in the room and you have to set the energy. You have to be as defeated as you feel and as deflated as you feel when you're not currently in that atmosphere and have the instant results that you want. You have to trust God, and you have to trust your own ability to create, because the second you give these people power, and the second you give someone's perceptions power, you've lost. You've lost, man. Even if you don't have the failure on a card in front of you presented to you, you've lost, because you've gave people, a lot of the times these people have no power over themselves. And if you give someone who is incapable of understanding who you are or what you want to do power, that's scary as hell. How can someone who has no power over themselves or over their own creation have any sort of bearing as to what you could create or what you are creating? But yeah, I feel it's just like, you know, you just got to trust yourself, man, and that's it really. That's all I have to say on that. And was there any experiences in particular that you would feel comfortable speaking about as to where you've overcame something in the creation process? Whether it's maybe you've had a new idea for a certain sonic direction you wanted to go in, or a certain lyrical direction, or say for example, like you're making a song and you've got an idea in mind for different lyrics you want to put down, but you think, oh, would my audience like this? Would my audience care about this? But maybe you've just gone ahead and just did it anyway because that's, you know, that's that innate feeling inside of you.
Yeah. I think it all boils down to the self, you know. Mm-hmm. It's all about, we have to please the audience, but like you first.
Yeah.
Because you have to be happy first. I think that's one thing all the creatives need to know, because you putting something out there, that's like a representation of who you are first. So people need to see you through what you create. So they need to see you in what you do. So if you put in something out, you have to be happy first. You need to be happy with what you do. So there's been times where, like, you know, I've been like, should I take this verse off, you know, do some collaboration with people, and you know, I've gotten a voice from someone, and like, you know, I said this doesn't seem really well, you know, but then I've got my management, you know, saying that this has to go, this is good, but I don't feel it. I don't think for my own brand this represent who I am. I think this is not like this is good, but like it's not there. It doesn't represent who I'm, you know, who I am. So like, you know, the times where I had to take it off, you know, and I had to go at that time. Now I had to go with my own intuition. So I think that's just all about creativity. You have to trust yourself. You know, I think you mentioned about, you know, believing in yourself. You know, I think that I've been in that kind of a situation, and that was how I dealt with it. And when it came out, like, it was really, everyone liked it, and like it was good. So I was happy. I went by my own intuition at that time.
Yeah, man. That's really inspiring to hear, you know, just for you, the audience, to hear, I guess, someone who's facing these different struggles or these different opportunities to, like, how do you really navigate it, you know? How do you navigate your intuition? And it's just focusing on the present moment, because emotions are supposed to be temporary, not permanent. And every emotion has to float from one to the next, because everything in this world currently is marketing. The world is becoming marketing, and everything is designed in a way to steal your attention and to steal your focus and your emotions away from you and give it to something that people can make money from. And this reigns true within news, within politics, and all of these different areas. People want you to feel a lot of emotion so they can control what happens with that emotion, and they can then use that to monetize. And you see even now with a couple of like big figures who are under scrutiny within the public, like, they really try and control the external narrative around you, but it's just how you're able to break through them. Something that he said that really resonated with me was, I guess, with industry and how they just want you, in this streaming age, it's almost like it's not becoming about the music anymore. It's just becoming about how much attention does the music take from someone. And, you know, you see it with Spotify and you see it with Apple Music, like, people putting the chorus in the first 15 seconds of the song just so the algorithm sees it and puts it into charting. Like, we're not made to be robots. We're not made to act within an algorithm. we're made as just beings. We're human beings, and it's something I want to stress to you, like something I want to say now. We are human beings. We are human beings, for God's sake, and you know, no one can take the power away from us. We get so distracted and so caught up in what's happening that, like, we just have to remember. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning into the first episode of Energy in Motion. Big guests, big ideas, valuable knowledge, valuable information. This is where you come when you want to hear what other people don't want you to hear. Thank you for listening. This is my guest, Victor. Do you have any last words that you would like to say to the people?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, stay ready, because opportunities everywhere. It could be knocking on your door. Just stay ready and stay consistent and hardworking. And yeah, the word is yes. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Make sure to follow, subscribe. These episodes will be coming out monthly to begin with, but on the TikTok page, Energy in Motion, you will see short form content being posted from this, and also speaking content as well. I love doing speaking content, and I love speaking directly to you, the viewer. So yeah, thank you all for your time and tuning in. Follow Energy in Motion. Stay tuned.